Hello, everyone! John and Kevin are here!
Woohoo!
Oh man, I'm so excited. This is gonna be a good time, Kevin.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be really cool, and I appreciate you having me on, man.
Oh
It's gonna be
man, I'm
fun.
so excited you're here. Talking to you yesterday, just so you all know this, Kevin and I did a kind of a tech test the day yesterday, and I do that with everybody that I have on as a guest. But Kevin and I, man, we were just talking, and it was a good time.
Yeah, man.
It was a good time. Well, if you're here, please say hello. Say hi to Kevin and myself. I promise I don't bite, and I'm sure Kevin doesn't bite.
No, no, not at all.
I usually, when
Hello,
Lori's
Benjamin.
Ben's here. Now, Kevin, so you know, whenever I see someone in the chat that I know, I always give
Mhm.
them a shout out. If you see someone in the chat, please feel free to also give them a shout out. I know
Sure
Ben.
thing.
Ben is a teacher by where I teach, very talented music educator, also an up and coming composer.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Oh, yeah, but what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Well, boo. That's the story of my life. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Kevin, how is the weather down where you are today?
it's pretty good. We've been having a lot of just clear skies here in Georgia. I'm currently living in Athens, and so just getting through the rest of the semester, and then this weekend I'll be flying back home to Texas, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, man, everything's going great here. What about you?
Oh, it was kind of a little bit overcast. It had some sun. It hit 50 at one point.
Oh, oh man.
That was a. But I'll tell you because I know everyone makes this joke by where they live, but especially here in Northeast Ohio, we really make this joke. What was it? Just yesterday or the day before, it was like 70 degrees, and today we're
Mhm.
like, oh man, so happy that it hit 50.
Yeah, man. We haven't seen 50 here in a while, so I mean, oh wow. We have Kataj Copley with us. Kataj is an up and coming composer as well from Georgia. Good to see you, man.
Kataj, nice to meet you. Well, Kevin, we'll give a couple more minutes for one or two more people to show up, and then we will get started with some composing. And when we get started, we'll also let Kevin introduce himself. And I know he's got a lot of exciting things to share with us, but we'll share that here for or wait for a few more minutes for that. So that way we get your introduction to the most amount of people as possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Valerie Laney
We have
Rowe.
Valerie. Yes.
Kevin, do you know Valerie?
I do not. But hi, Valerie.
Valerie is
Yes.
a composer with Excelsior Music Publishing.
Okay.
Very talented. I think this is her first year with publications out. She's got two pieces coming out this year. Very talented. She also, I know you're a finale guy, Kevin, but on
Hmm.
Wednesdays I do my How to Sibelius series, and Valerie co-hosts that with me.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, pleasure meeting you as well. Awesome. We got six people.
Woo! Well, welcome all of you. And for those of you who are watching, I know I'll be preaching to the choir. Those of you that are not watching now and wish to watch later, you are more than the streams do archive, so you can always catch them the next day if you can't catch them live with us.
Hmm.
So they'll be there immediately after. They're usually there. So cool. Oh, well, there you go, Kevin.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to hear this piece.
Oh well, so we'll listen. The first thing we'll do is listen to it. Before we listen to the piece, we will get started now. It is about 8:04, 8:05 ish. Kevin, I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm currently getting my master's in composition at the University of Georgia. I'm originally from Texas, and I got my undergrad in tuba euphonium performance from TCU, and so really got into composing full time about halfway through my undergrad, and have continued it now through my master's. And so I primarily write for wind bands, but I also write for orchestra, chamber groups, and I would love to get into choral writing as well. Yeah, it's just a pleasure to be here and to see all of you here. So
If you guys haven't checked out Kevin's stuff, I've checked it out. His rocket ship is amazing. You guys got to check out that one. It's one of the coolest pieces I've heard. So please check out Kevin's music. His description for his website is down in the description. Check that out. A couple of other announcements before we get started with composing. I know I put down in the description, if you've been helping out and been awesome and during the sessions giving suggestions, and you've been a part of our streams, whether you've done one or you've done all 15 of them, there's now a link down in the description for you to fill out so that I can include your name in the score if this gets either published commercially or by myself when this is over. I will include your name in the program notes in the score. So if you are interested in being included in that, you must do that. If you do not put your name down there, you will not be included, because I want written. I want you to write down that you're giving me permission to do that. I'm not just going to put your name in the score if you don't want it in there. So please feel free to do so if you would like to do that. There was one other thing that I wanted to announce. I don't remember what it is. Oh, tomorrow, Valerie Laney Rowe is in the chat, is our normal Wednesday How to Sibelius. And Thursday, Lori will be back for our usual composing. And that is at 9:15 Eastern, so it's an hour and 15 minutes later than now. That being said, composing with Kevin Day. Here we go.
woohoo!
All right. I know Kevin's excited to hear for this from the beginning. Just to quickly go over it, these measures here was what we primarily worked on last week. Measure 37 to 45 is what we worked on. As you can see, there's a crescendo going here into these rests, and these would end up on a Facebook page mocking me mercilessly if that were to get published. So this is something we definitely must address. And then we worked on, we ended up deleting the transition that we haven't written yet into what we don't know here, but we ended up deleting it in the last stream. That being said, from the top, here we go. Can you all hear? Oh, Kevin, I think figured it out. Can you all hear that? Is everyone with us? Kevin, did you forget to hit the button?
Yes, I forgot to hit the button. Yes. I was like, wait, why is there no sound? Yeah.
It's
okay,
all good.
We're good.
All right, measure 10. We'll start. Remember, so for those of you that have never live streamed on YouTube before, so it's not just Kevin that does this. I was trying to do our test stream yesterday with Kevin, and I had forgotten to push the giant red button on YouTube that says start stream. So, yeah, it's not just Kevin. I'm guilty of it myself.
Speaking of Kevin, we have a Kevin Nice here. He said hi, everyone.
Kevin is a band director actually at my high school alma mater, Nordonia. Awesome. And he also has a podcast called Music Ed All In, which he just started.
Wow. Awesome. Well, welcome, Kevin.
All right, measure 10. Let's continue. thus far. So today, I kind of want to focus on filling in this part at 37 a little bit. Kevin, I just remembered. So Lori always yells at me like we have to stop right at 10 o'clock because she's usually at 9:15. She gives me John, it's 9:59. So she always says that she has to keep me on task. So
Okay. Wow. Well, we'll go. I mean, until whenever. I mean, I'm not on a big time crunch, so it's all good.
Cool. Thanks, Kev. So,
Okay, so Valerie said to begin before measure 8, so we can hear the A flat again. Or she said the glorious A flat again. So I guess this was something that she helped with.
All right, Valerie. We'll go back here so we can hear that again going into that.
She also said, "John, don't be overly dramatic. She does not yell." In quotation marks.
Obviously, you've never had a conversation with Lori. I was just kidding. Oh man. So there you go, Valerie. You got to hear it. All right. So let us work here. And if I remember correctly, my goal was to try to figure out what we were going to do with filling this in. So, Kevin, here's a composer to composer question for you. Do you compose with the transposing score on or off? Do you go in written or in concert pitch or transposing?
Yeah, so I do transposing, and I just kind of did that because in undergrad I had just some trouble learning the transpositions for all the instruments. So I did it kind of as an exercise just to learn them all, and so now it's what I do for every piece.
See, I'm that way too. I usually prefer to do it that way. I usually prefer to do it transposed. I find when I'm doing these live streams, I can't do it. I don't know if it's the pressure or what. I just I struggle with it.
Yeah, it took me a while to get it too, because it's so many different like transpositions for each instrument. So yeah, it's a process for sure. We have Daniel Reeves here. Hi Daniel, he's a composer from Hurst, Texas. And so we're glad you're here, man.
Hi Daniel, nice to meet you, man. Glad you could join us. Let's see. So my goal is to kind of figure out what chord belongs here. My current hypothesis is D flat. But let's find out if I'm right or wrong. So one of the cool features in Sibelius is if you can select the instruments, and if I hit Y, it'll start at the beginning of what I've selected, but it'll only play these instruments here. So let's give this a listen. I think D flat was the answer.
Yeah.
That sounded great. Now, Kevin, I think I told you that if we get up to 15 concurrent viewers, which right now we're at 8, but if we're able to get up to 15, whoever the co-host is responsible for buying pizza at Midwest.
Yes. Love that.
I should have told you that ahead of time. Whoops.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, if we get up to 15 viewers, Kevin's buying pizza at Midwest.
I love this. Okay, so Benjamin has asked, when using concert pitch scores, do you run into range issues more, or do you learn the concert range or clarinet break issues? So what do you think about this question?
When I usually, as I was talking about with Kevin, I tend to not use the transposing score. In fact, if you ever, I only use it when I'm live streaming, to be entirely honest. Because it's very, I don't know if it's the pressure or what, I struggle with being able to think of the transpositions. Like clarinet isn't so hard for me, but French horn and saxophone, alto saxophone, those I struggle with them on the live stream. But like, if we were just working on clarinets and flutes and things in C, I think I would be okay. Um,
Hmm.
but now I'm doing things pretty much not transposed in concert pitch. But I personally would recommend doing things transposed if you can.
Hmm.
Personally, um, again, I'm just doing it now because I don't know if it's stage fright or what. But oh, I always forget about that too. Control Shift T turns that on and off. Oops.
Valerie says for alto sax, can't you look at the part and pretend it's in bass clef?
Yeah,
Um,
I could
yes,
do
you
that.
can. Yeah, this was a. I mean, that's kind of how I learned how to do it, and actually, kind of weird situation. When I was in middle school, I had to transpose an alto sax part uh, um, when I was playing tuba for this quartet, and so I actually learned like it. You can read it as bass clef, but like obviously for alto saxophone, it's going to be an octave higher than um than written. So yeah.
You know, now that you say that, Kevin, that's interesting to me because I've many times had to give saxophone parts the tuba part, or giving a Barry sax player a tuba part. I have never, ever, ever heard of the opposite of giving the tuba part the Barry sax part. So that's very interesting that you say that. So finally, it's almost like they get their revenge.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, yeah, Valerie said as written and then add three flats. Yes, yes.
I
Very, very cool.
so what I was struggling with here is like again, it's mostly because of the live stream it's not really pressure because it is but it isn't. Like I don't want to make mistakes, but I know I'm going to. Like I'm not normally afraid of making mistakes, but being on the internet where the world can see for an unlimited amount of time, this is a little bit of pressure. But so like I've been struggling with trying to remember all those transpositions. So but yeah, there are all sorts of tricks. I'm usually just pretty good at naturally remembering. Like I don't need any tricks usually. Uh,
Hmm.
but for this live stream, tricks don't work. It's just all being a little bit nervous. Um, let's listen to this. Now, Kevin, I have a rule that I've said a couple of times when I'm composing. I don't know if you have a similar rule to this. When I'm composing, if I listen to something and I listen to it and I go, I'm not sold on that. I'll generally either one, save it for later or delete it. Do you have a similar rule to that when you're composing?
Yeah, I would also approach it that way too. Like either if I don't like it, then maybe I can try to refine it like somehow, or try to like make a minor change in the melody or something like that to get it more to where I want. And if it's just not working, then I would use it for another piece.
Yeah, I see. I find, and this is, I find I'm in the minority on this one, that that this is just like a me thing. I have never used anything I've thrown away. Never.
Hmm.
Like, it's almost like I was like, that's that bad. It just never needs to see the light of day.
Yeah,
I've
I have
never
plenty of
reused
that
it.
too. Yes. Yeah, I have plenty of music that will never see the light of day because it's just really bad. So I feel that.
Yeah. So see, you guys, band directors that are out there, when you buy music, you don't realize like you're buying it because it's good. Like us as composers, there's things that we don't put out there because we're like, uh, we don't want our reputations to be uh, to be put down. So like, well, we withhold it because we don't think it needs to be out there. So you guys are only getting the good stuff. All right, let's give this part at 37 a listen here, Kevin. And let's see. So the reason I brought up that was because I don't. I mean, I want this part here at 37, but I'm not necessarily sold on either one how it's orchestrated or anything like that. Like maybe we need to add a counter melody at this point. Maybe we need to develop the melody a little more. I don't know if we need to add maybe a little bit underneath it and some of the brass instruments. I'm not really entirely sure, but as it is, it definitely needs some refinement, and I'm not really sure what. So that's what we're listening this time for, going into 37.
Okay.
Now, I did notice a mistake, and I think that this may be contributing to part of that problem, is there needs to be a pickup here. Like this beat 4 just sounded like we're going, and then what? And then it went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you had a pickup like if you went like G C to.
Do you think it
like,
should be sol do, or do you think it should be do do?
I would do so do. It's like if you did like G C to go up there with the flutes and the oboes.
Do you? And we should give it to the saxophones too.
Yeah, and to the saxophones as well.
Okay, cool. Oopsie, pasted in the wrong spot. All right, let's. Do you think we should give it to the clarinets, or should we give them a break? I kind of feel like they've been doing this. They can use a beat break here. Let's see if the sound suffers from giving them a break. We're gonna. Oh, Kevin, we're at 10.
Oh man.
that pizza.
5 more.
Oh, I can smell the pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
Now, Kevin, the question is which pizza, Lou Malnati's or Giordano's?
Oh, Giordano's, man, you gotta go big. I love that place. Really quick, we have a few messages in the chat. Valerie said some bass notes sounded funky, so I guess we need to revisit that part.
I think it was right here, Valerie. I think it was I heard that too. It's the C against the D, I think.
Yeah.
We're gonna try moving that.
We also have Taylor Cowan. Welcome, Taylor. Taylor is a friend of mine from Texas. He's a really fantastic percussionist and drummer. So we're really glad to have you here, man.
Taylor, man, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Valerie said clarinets are always strong players. They don't need a break. I love this.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If I get a call from a band director, Valerie, I'm just gonna give him your email address. Like they'll be like, "Dear Mr. Pasternak, the clarinets could use a break in this measure," and I'll just literally, not dear whoever, just copy paste your email address and send it back.
She says you can blame me. I love this.
I'm just copying and pasting your email and sending it back. In fact, one day, if this ever gets published, if I just say, "Hey Valerie, what's your email?" You know. It's coming.
Oh,
all
so
right.
Yeah, let's hear this part, this pickup, and let's see how kind of that sounds.
Okay, I had to fix these dynamics here. They were a little bit wonky. They didn't really line up anymore. Oops. Oh, I did it bad. Let me fix this real quick and then. All right, let's give it a listen. Here we go. Okay, so I think I see the problem. We have, well, I don't know if it's a problem per se, but it is definitely So what we have here is this fifth between concert G and concert C.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if these bass voices, if we put them down here on to be in unison with them.
Yes.
If that'll help. But however, I don't think the lower octave. I think, and hang on, Valerie, here it comes. I did it. I finally remembered. So, Kevin, just so you know, in Sibelius, normally I hit Shift T, which brings up this transposition dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
In Sibelius, Valerie told me this shortcut. If you hit Control and the down and up arrows, it'll take it up and down an octave.
Nice.
So I learned that trick from Valerie. But however, I've been a creature of habit, and it does not matter what I hit Shift T, and I transpose that way.
Valerie said, "Yay."
All right, let's give this a listen to see if we fixed it. I think this measure sounds better too. So in this measure, first of all, I'm really digging this part here. This sounded great. However, this part before 45, I kind of feel like the resolution should be on beat 4 and not resolve on 3. However, now that I say that, yeah, it'll work, I think.
Okay, so Valerie said it was the measure where the bass clarinet had E flat and the one where it had C. That was weird. So I don't know which measure she's referring to.
I don't
Let's
either.
see.
Bass
Let's
clarinet
see.
had E flat.
She said I could be hearing it wrong. Okay, so could you play like the bass line at measure?
Here, I'll play the all the clarinets together, and let's see if that helps. I kind of well, no, that's a C. It could be, well, it's B flat against C. I guess you could argue that.
Yeah, she said B, C, and then D.
Let's listen to this one more time with the oboe. See, I like that. I like that tension. Kevin, how do you feel about that?
I like that as well. Yeah, there's a little bit of a dissonance right there. I mean, so I really like that a lot, actually.
Let's listen to it one
She said, okay.
Let's listen to it one more time here.
She said it's measure 41, 42, and 43 near the end of the page.
Oh, okay. So we have. Oh, do you think? Okay, here. Let's listen to this. 41 and 42. Okay, here. We'll listen to this and see what we think. I think that sounds good. Kevin, Sibelius also has this feature that I actually just learned from a blog post. I think it was on, I don't know if you follow, because they do some finale things as well. It's called Scoring Notes.
Mm-hmm.
And Philip Brotman is the one who does that. But he did this post on Sibelius. If you hit the brackets, and if you want, I'll have to show you which one. It's not the parentheses. It's the brackets right underneath the plus and minus keys. It's right next to P. If you hit them here in Sibelius, it'll literally play each subdivision for you. So if we start here, it'll play each subdivision for us. I didn't hear anything too. Did you hear
so
something?
Valerie just said, she said, is the D in the third clarinet part?
41, 42. Oh, I guess we could, here, we could do this. Let's give it a listen back to where we were, and let's go through it note at a time. Oops. Not like that. Oops. That does sound good. Let's listen to it at tempo here. Yeah. Good catch, Valerie. Good catch. All right, let's listen to it at 37. Actually, let's listen to it a measure before so we can hear that awesome pickup we did with Kevin. I really like that. I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that works great.
So now the kind of question is, do we want a counter melody in here? Because this is the first time we've heard this. I mean, these are the first time. These 16 measures is the first time this theme has been presented. Is it too early to present a counter melody? And the instruments that I would suggest presenting the counter melody, we could give it to the euphonium, but in that case, then you're going to lose the tenor sax because you would probably want to double it. You could give it to the horn, but you're either going to lose the tenor sax or the alto, who are doubling the already very thinly scored melody. So what do you guys think? Kevin, what do you think?
I would maybe see like, let's see. You have flute 1 and 2, you have oboe playing that, you have alto 1, and then tenor. So I think if you gave tenor sax and like horn or even youth like that counter melody, I don't think it's going to take away from the actual one per se.
Okay.
I don't think so, at least.
Let's start with this argument before we go into that one. Do you think that at this point, the second time through this theme, we should put a counter melody, or do you think we should wait until after this little interlude that comes up here at 45, when we'll probably reinstate this, and then add the counter melody there? What do you think?
Let's hear it actually, and then I'll have a much better opinion about it.
Okay, we'll go back to the first here. We'll go to where this fast section starts, so it gives you a little bit more context. So this is measure 19. And Kevin, I'm going to make you a fresh PDF of this so you can have it, so you can follow along here.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Measure 19. Oh, Kevin, we're at 12. We're three people away from that pizza.
Yes.
For those of you just joining in, two things. First of all, you should be more than happy to say hello and chat with us. Do not be shy. We love hearing from everyone. Whether you're just chiming in, just a hello, or you're going to chime in, John, you're an idiot, you don't know how to write music. I would love to hear all of it. If you're a friend of Kevin's, you're a friend of mine. If you know neither of us, please say hello. We'll be more than happy to hear from you.
Valerie, really quick, she said you could give it to horn and possibly cue it in second trumpets if you don't have horns. She also said, or if it's high enough on youth, you could cue it in horn and not lose anything above. So we got a few options for how we can do this.
Very true. Oh, Kevin, 13.
13. Okay, 2 more.
And by the way, just so you all know, I told Kevin it is a long-standing tradition. Whoever the guest is, if we get 15 people watching concurrently, they buy pizza at Midwest. But what I didn't tell them is if that happens, I also buy the guest pizza at Midwest. So,
woohoo!
Kevin, I'm buying you a pizza, but bad news is you got to buy like 15 people a pizza.
It's all good. Oh, wait, we're at 14. Okay, one more.
All right.
One more.
19. Let's listen to this here at 19, and maybe this will inspire our 15th concurrent viewer. That did not start at the right spot, did it? I don't know what I was I don't think I ever hit the thing here. All right, here we go. Back to 19 for real this time. Don't mind me, I'm a dummy. Here we go. 19. All right. So what do you think, Kevin? What do you guys think in the chat as well?
So upon second listen to it, I actually think you could put like a counter melody in like some of the instruments we were saying beginning at measure 37, I would say. You could put in like a lyrical kind of counter with like the horns or with the euphonium right there that would kind of go hand in hand. It would be interesting to see how that would sound with this kind of rhythmic thing you have going on as well. So I'd love to try that and just kind of see what happens.
Sure,
We have reached
take a try.
15 people. We have 15 people.
Oh, it went in its turn.
Oh
no! Well, Kevin, that person, whoever that is, does not get pizza at Midwest. The rest of you, pizza, and Kevin, you get pizza at Midwest as well.
Yes. We have John Rowe in the chat. John Rowe said those trumpets better put some stank on it. Yes, he said that's awesome.
And
I love that.
For those of you that don't know, John is actually Valerie's husband. Very nice man.
Welcome, John. Valerie said, I'm not sure about the concert A before 45. Let's see.
Give me 1 second here. I had an idea for the counter melody here at 37. I started writing down. Oops. All right, so before 45, let me get to where that is. There's concert A.
Yes, she said concert A flat. I should apply the key signature. So I think she's saying, okay, she said it's in the bass line at 45. Or before 45, I'm sorry.
No, there is no concert A flat in the bass line. Because it goes C, D, E, F, G. Now there is one problem here. Is this F sharp? This does need to go because F sharp against G is a no go.
She said, okay, so I think 3 or 4 before 45. Back up Terry is what she said. So it's I think it's before we get to this. Okay. So it's on the page before that.
Give me 1 second because I did see a problem here with this bass line. I do want to try to correct. I do see a bigger problem. That should be that. And then I don't know if that's going to work, but it's definitely going to work better than it did. We'll look at that in a minute. All right. Before 45, 3 before 45, back up Terry. All right. Concert A flat
in the bass line. So I think she's talking about like
here.
41.
Here it is. 39. Is there another one? Oh, 40. There's 39 and 41. Yeah, that would collide against the clarinet. I see what you're talking about. Um,
She said it's the one at 41. 39 sounds good. So she's talking about just measure 41.
well, we could try this. Let's see if this works. Now this is also has a problem here because this is concert D. Concert D against concert E natural. Let's put that like that. All right. Let's give this a listen. I think we may have solved some of these problems. For those of you that didn't know, I think what we did is we copy and pasted this and then try to make it fit from before. And so let that be a lesson for those of you who are, one, starting composing, or two, still a composer. Don't copy and paste.
Yep, I had to learn that very early. Do not copy and paste.
Hashtag don't do it.
Yeah, just, yeah.
All right, 37. Let's give it a listen here. See, now here's a problem. But I do really... Did you hear that euphonium thing? I was like, yeah!
Yeah, yeah.
There's a problem here, though. Where is the problem here? I'll tell you what. We're going to try this. We're going to try copying and pasting this. I think that this may be the solution. Because, yeah, that's going to fix it. All right, let's give it a listen. This here. Actually, let's just listen to it from 37. Yep, I think that's the winner. I think that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So let's do this now.
While you're doing that, Valerie says, "Is the score already transposed?"
Yes. So you can see the
yes.
little gold thing here around transposing score.
She also said, "Didn't you just say don't copy and paste?"
Shh, it's quiet time. It's quiet time. Nobody asked you, Valerie. I'm just kidding, Valerie.
She said, "It's never quiet time in Valerie land." I love this. Valerie, we have to meet. Oh my gosh, you're awesome. John Rose said, "Copy and pasting is a lot easier on a Mac." Yes,
that is fake news.
Well, being a Mac user myself, I agree with John. It is a lot easier to just hit Control C and just do that.
All right, let's just see if this 37. How do we feel about that? I kind of like how that's going. I actually think that it fits nicely in the horn and the euphonium as well.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I especially when you have it going from the C to the B natural, which fits well with that G major chord in measure 40. Yeah, I like the counter melody so far.
So part of me wants to either take this one and go up, because I kind of want contrary motion to this, because this is going down in the altos.
Mm-hmm.
And the melody is going down. So part of me kind of wants to put some contrary motion here and have this go up. The question is can we pull that off? And I think we can. Let's listen to this. Let's see how we feel about this. I really like that. I think that sounds good. I like that. Peter's here.
Peter, hey.
All right, Peter, hang
Welcome,
on.
Peter.
Peter, do you know Peter, Kevin?
I believe we have met, yes, on maybe a couple of occasions. But I would love to meet him like at Midwest for sure for this year.
Oh, definitely you should. Pete, it's Pete. All right, hang on, Pete. I'm gonna say your last name right. Pete Ciano. Tell me if I did it, Pete. Tell me if I win. Pete Ciano. Tell me if I did it. Oh man, the suspense is killing me.
That's about how I would pronounce it as well. Pete Ciano.
Pete.
Ciano. Yeah, he said not bad. He
Woo!
said not bad. Great job.
I did it.
Real quick, Valerie said, "Hey John, can you say a shout out to my student Malvin? He's on here and listening."
Of course. Hi, Malvin. Welcome to the live stream.
Welcome, Malvin.
Well, we introduced Malvin. But Pete, I never gave his formal shout out. Pete is a very talented composer. Has works with a array of composers. I think Barnhouse, RWS Music, Excelsior, and I think he has some with Fisher as well. So, a very talented composer.
Awesome. Welcome, Pete.
All right, let's listen to this at 37 one more time, because since I did those introductions, I kind of have forgotten what I was doing. By the way, I can't tell you how many times, I don't know if you have this problem, Kevin. You'll be in the middle of composing, and then you literally you look away for 1 second, and then you come back to it, and you're just like, I don't know what I was doing.
I've done that on a few occasions actually, where it's just I'll be like, why did I put that there? And then I won't even remember why until like much later. So yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. For sure.
See, I used to do that, and I'll tell you what helped is the Sibelius has these comment features, where you can write a comment, and I'll do now. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't need that, and then I'll not work on it for a week, and I'll come back and go, well, why did I do that? But I have started doing that because I've realized that in about 5 minutes I'm gonna need it. So
yeah.
All right, let's listen to this part at 37. Oh, before I forget, a couple of things. For those of you just tuning in, there's a link in the description. If you're helping out, giving suggestions, and you would like credit in the score when this gets published, either by myself or a commercial publisher, please fill out the form in the description, so that way you can get credit if you would like it. I mean, if you don't want it, I'm not going to put your name in the score unless you fill that out. So please, please, please fill it out, and if you would like to be your name in the score when this gets published. Also in the description, Kevin's information. So please, please, please check out Kevin as well. Lots of good stuff. All right. Oh, and before I forget, next Tuesday, since Pete is here, Pete is my co-host next Tuesday.
Woohoo! Awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be with Pete. So that'll be good. All right. Let's work on this. So in this next part here, I'm thinking we just do, I don't think these notes. See, I just did the copy and paste thing. So, Kevin, I don't know if you do this in Finale. I used Finale years ago. But I haven't used it in a long time. I find that in Sibelius it's easier, maybe not easier, but I've gotten in the habit, if I've written a rhythmic figure I'm going to copy or use again, I'll copy and paste it. It's easier than rewriting it again. I don't know if you do that in Finale.
Generally no, but it's if I want to reuse an idea, then I'll try to find a way to kind of rewrite it or rework it. For the most part, especially with pieces kind of like the concertos, where there's kind of a lot going on, and there's if there's parts that are kind of jumping everywhere, I just kind of program those in as I go.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh. All right.
I like this counter melody a lot.
Let's give this a listen here and see if this fits.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate to do it because the line is going up, I feel constrained by difficulty, and I feel like this needs to go down.
Would you be able to take the would you be able to take the euphonium part up to the high F for this, or would you not be able to?
Well, here, Kevin, I'll show you so you can see this too, because we do talk. I do get asked this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
People will say when you're writing, what are the rules or stuff like that. So I'll show off the kind of the Excelsia guidelines here, and I only show off the Excelsia ones because they're the only ones that I know are public. So I'll show these again. They're the only ones I know for a fact that are public. If the other ones were public, I would show them off. I'm not trying to show one over the other, but you can always ask the publisher. So here is the Excelsia grade 3 rules. So we could go up to F. Sorry, I was thinking it was E flat, but it is F. So we could go up to F. But that's what I was thinking. So that was kind of an error on my part that we would want to keep it below F. So yeah, let's keep it. Let's do F, and I'll keep the guidelines here just in case we need them to reference them again. All right, here we go. Oh, what? Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to write the thing, and then we're going to listen to it. Not just say here we go and not write it yet. Don't you wish you could just do that? Be like, all right, here it is.
Yeah.
Poof, there it is.
Yeah, because you have this very cool like sequence that's happening where you're going like D C B flat, then you're doing E flat D C, then you could do F E flat to D flat just like you have. So I think that would be a cool kind of counter that's constantly going up, and then you come back down.
Okay, let's give it a listen. Or Kevin. I was thinking contrary motion, but the line is kind of going up here. So does contrary motion, would you say that this should go like D and then C here and then B flat, or it would be A flat, but that would be contrary motion to this. This line is going up, that would be going down. What do you think, Kevin? Or do you think we just leave it alone because it's good enough how it is in this case?
I think the contrary motion is definitely there at measure 43 because you're having the counter melody go down, you're having the melody go up. So that's definitely there. When you're kind of leading up to it, most of that you're going up and then coming back down, and then the melody is also kind of going down. So if you kind of want to play with that and have more kind of contrary motion happening, then that would be cool too. We have some comments in the chat really fast. Valerie said to infinity and beyond. All right. Taylor said on the next couple of playbacks, maybe add in some percussion, and then he can make some comments about percussion. So Taylor is a really talented percussionist. He's great with arranging and writing. So if you have any percussion ideas, then he's more than willing to provide input to there.
Okay, sure. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's get this settled, and then we'll definitely the very next thing we'll do is we'll write some percussion in. Now, that being said, whatever we want to do in percussion too, we have to either we're going to have to continue the hi-hat and claves that we've added down here, or we're going to need these two measures are basically nothing can happen here, or they have to be what they've been doing so that they can switch. So here, we'll highlight those to remind us that nothing can go there. But we can always put things here on percussion 1. Now, they can either switch or stay on snare drum and bass drum. We have the option of snares off. We can also do rim clicks. So that's food for thought there. Let's listen to this once as is, and then let's figure out what we're going to do here for percussion at 37. I really like that. I think that sounds epic.
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right, cool. So here, I'll put them up for you, Taylor, so you can see. Taylor asked, what are the grade 3 rules for percussion? So, am I on grade 3? Is this grade 3? Yes, this is grade 3. So, if we look at it here, percussion, pretty much, there's 3 rules. 4, 5, and 6 are the percussion rules. And, you know, even as the publisher will tell you, and I want to make this clear right off the bat, they are not necessarily rules, they are guidelines, which means that they can, you can bend them and change them if necessary. But, I always say, I usually try to follow the guidelines, and, you know, I've had many things published. I bend them on occasion, but I tend to follow them to the letter as best as possible, mostly because that's just my personal beliefs. So you don't necessarily have to follow them to the letter like I do. Now, that being said, the three guidelines are: you have 4 timpani, and if we're going to need to retune, we have to allow time for it. Percussion 1 is usually always snare drum and bass drum. And 6, the last rule, percussion parts must be musically appropriate but active, and expanded percussion is encouraged. So we usually also only limit that to 2 players. So again, we already have 2 players going on here. We need to either, if we're changing what the two players are going to play, they need these 2 bars of rest to change, or they're either going to have to continue what they're doing here. Now, if they're going to continue what they're doing there, they have to change, or they need these 2 measures off, because as you can see, they go back to suspended cymbal and crash cymbal here. Oof, I just saw an error there. Ruh-roh, Scoobs.
So I have an idea, actually, for what you could do for the counter melody, or even for the melody in the place we were kind of working at. You could put one of those melodic ideas into a mallet part if you want that to kind of come out more so. So I would even say this for maybe for the counter melody more so than the other, than like the main melody, because that's already, you have a lot of people covering that. So you could add like maybe a marimba or glockenspiel or whatever to the counter melody right there.
So let's see here. What I can never remember, Kevin, now that you say that, what instrument is playing what ahead of time. So currently Mallet 2 is on xylophone, and so far it looks like Mallet 1 is playing vibraphone. Now, as you can see here, there's a label for Mallet 2 to change the chimes, and they have to be at chimes by the time they get here at 48. So if they're going to play something else or continue, they're going to need some sort of break between here and there.
Yeah, Taylor said this piece needs some mallets. He said chimes would be great for some of the brass parts in there. So yeah, just the chimes are cool, and then like if you have like a marimba part or a vibraphone or something else to kind of complement that is what he's kind of saying.
Yeah. Okay. So my thought here is, so the vibraphone is in Mallet 1. I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to do the root in the third. Maybe not.
So while that's happening, if there's anyone new who has not said hello, please comment. We'd love to hear, just to see who all was here, and we're glad you're all here. So we appreciate you.
Yes, please say hello if you haven't said hello. There's 9 of you. Please say hello. I promise we don't bite. At least, usually not on Tuesdays.
Wow. Okay, so Valerie said maybe some bowed vibes. So like taking like a violin bow or something like that to a vibraphone. That would be a cool texture, actually. I don't know where kind of you would put that,
I think
but
at
I
the
really like
beginning
that.
maybe we could pull that off. Here, unfortunate, but the thing about that is we already have. I mean, we could add it, but it's already doing stuff at the beginning. Here where we are, you would never hear it. You have all these people kind of in their wheelhouse playing at forte. You would never hear bowed vibes. It wouldn't cut through.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. This is E diminished.
She said it does have to be a thin texture place, and she says you right. So yeah, that would be cool per se at the beginning of the piece, like you're saying, to have that kind of sound. There's not a whole lot of pieces that kind of use that, and so that's a really cool kind of percussion effect you can use.
I completely agree. I love using. Well, when I was in college, I should say, I really enjoyed bowed vibes. I mean, like that was like my thing, and just about all my pieces in college, there's a bowed vibe part. Uh, Unfortunately, nowadays, not so much. Which now that we've brought that to my kind of my attention, maybe I'll correct that. Kevin, do you do much writing for bowed vibes?
Not really, no. No, not as much as I would want to. So maybe in like future pieces, I would love to explore that, and even like bowed marimba as well. That's a cool sound that's not really used, and it's a really interesting texture.
I do enjoy bowed cymbal as well.
Yeah, that works great too.
Water gong.
We have a request for a possible lion's roar in the
Oh,
percussion section.
Kevin, you haven't been here the last couple of streams. Valerie, that's like Valerie's go-to. She loves that lion's roar.
Now that is an instrument that I haven't seen too much of being used. I guess now, like I when I played a lot of pieces in junior high and high school, I we had a few pieces that had that back then, but I haven't seen that really used as much now.
You know, I think that what this means, Kevin, is Valerie's going to start a live stream, and it's going to be a piece about a lion, and she's going to stream it every Monday and Wednesday when or no, Monday and Friday. She has an obligation on Wednesday. So every Monday and Friday she can start streaming she can call the piece The Lion's Roar, and she can write a piece for concert band and Lion's Roar. And maybe she'll have us on to moderate it.
Concerto for Lion's Roar and Wind Ensemble. I'm here for it. Yes.
Oh man, I'm excited. Concerto for Lion's Roar by Laney or Valerie Laney Rowe. I'm excited, Valerie.
So Taylor said a great Bode Vibe reference is with Mackey's Frozen Cathedral. Yeah, that's a fantastic piece with all of that. He uses it like with Marimba Cortales. Yeah, that's a great example, Taylor. I love that piece.
Let's see. All right, let's listen to this and let's see what we think about this. We're going going to do the thing where we only select certain instruments, or else we're never going to hear it. How do we feel about that? I like that. I think that works fine.
Yeah. What instrument is that right there in the mallet part? Is that vibraphone?
Yep, vibraphone.
Hmm. I, I like it too. My only concern would be, would that be heard? That would be my only thing with that.
So this is another thing I was thinking. So right now these dynamics are forte. Let's do this.
Yeah, Kevin Neese, he said he wishes he would cut through more.
Let's take these dynamics down a little bit. I think that they're a little bit too in our faces. Because unfortunately there isn't really many choices for delete. I mean, we could delete the saxophones, but Lori would never let me hear the end of it if I deleted the saxophones.
No, you have to have saxes in there.
Oh, we could double it. You are correct. Oh, but see, so this is the problem with that, Valerie. We have to be ready to go back on chimes here. Now, we could, because here is where it kind of ends. I mean, we do have 3 measures for them to switch. So we could, you are absolutely correct, put this on marimba. I don't want a grand staff.
Taylor said that you can have the player use really hard mallets. Yeah, that would be a great choice too.
I don't really want a grand staff. Is there a marimba 1 staff?
Yeah, is there like a treble clef like marimba staff in there?
There it is. Found it. We win.
Woohoo!
We win. Oh, hang on. I deleted it. There we go. Here. I'll put that there. Okay, I need to change this label so I don't forget. And then I need to go to the beginning and change that label because I'm going to forget. And I'm going to get an email. Why did you not put a vibraphone in there? Or I'm sorry, a marimba.
Okay, so Peter has a question. He said, does it get too heavily scored to move those pads in the clarinet and have them double the octaves?
Of the marimba?
Let's see. Is he talking about... Yeah, I was trying to see the part. He's saying... I think he's talking about the like having the clarinets play the melody and octaves. Oh no. Okay, he's saying to try to double the octaves in the marimba.
See, Peter, the only thing I fear about that is then we're going to lose these pretty chords underneath that I really like. I don't disagree with you, but I also really, 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 really like these chords.
Yeah, you would have to find a way to rescore that for that to work for sure.
Now, that being said, I do have an idea. What if we take this? We need to... No. I have to go get that. Oh, hang on. We'll fix this percussion thing in a minute. What if we put that there? Hang on, I play the tenor sax, and I always have a rule for grade 3. If I can play it, then a middle schooler can play
it. Nice.
That one's going to be a little tricky.
So what grade level would you introduce like soprano? Excuse me. What grade level would you use like soprano saxophone? Because often a lot of my kind of grade 4, grade 5 pieces have a soprano sax part. Just because I love that kind of color. Would you do that for a grade 3 piece,
No,
or is that too early?
because I mean, think about the kind of the this is my opinion. Think about
Mm-hmm.
sort of like what school would have that? Would you ever imagine a middle school having a
Mm-hmm.
soprano sax? Now, you could also argue some high school groups play grade threes, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but are those same high schools going to own a soprano sax?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I kind of have this philosophy that the like great how do I say this? The least complicated you make the piece, the more
Mm-hmm.
people are going to be interested in it. Because
Mm-hmm.
like if you say like you need a water bottle with a propeller on the top that can play kazoo, how many people are going to take the but that's the reality of education. Like teachers are
Mm-hmm.
trying to handle so many things. The last thing that they need to worry about necessarily is putting together something, not necessarily special. I mean, teachers are all about trying to do that, but
Mm-hmm.
um, it's gonna probably not get played as much because you know
Mm-hmm.
teachers have enough to worry about as it is. So that's kind of my philosophy, is always trying to make it as least complicated as possible. So I'm not really necessarily adding more to their
Gotcha.
plate.
Yeah.
Um, let's listen to this with this tenor. Oh, hang on, before we do that, see, I almost forgotten this label. I gotta grab this two chimes label, and I've got to move it here so I don't forget to tell them to go back. Although I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the last measure of this mallet part in a
Mm-hmm.
minute. All right, let's go back and let's listen to this. I really, 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 really like that. I also think that this needs to move over to this, and this needs to be in A suspension. So this needs to go like that. That needs to go like that. That needs to go like that, and like that. And then this needs to. Oops. So just so for those of you wondering why the time signature thing keeps opening, uh, T is the shortcut for time signature. Y is the shortcut to make the little green playback line go to the beginning of the measure of which you've selected. And R is the shortcut to repeat whatever the measure you've selected. So that is why I keep accidentally bringing or hitting the T. I keep accidentally hitting T by accident.
Peter said, I used to. Okay, so he used a soprano part in a grade 3.5 piece, but had cued it in the alto or clarinet as an option. He said, of course, nobody published it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so then soprano, yeah, that to I think agree with what you were saying earlier. Yeah, that's an instrument that like not a lot of schools would per se have. Taylor said, "Can you give the vibe player simple rhythms that outline the melody and let the marimba play those octave notes?" I think that would be a cool option for where we are too.
I do kind of like that idea. So hang on, let's think about that. Um, oopsie, no. Let's leave the marimba alone for a second. Let's do this with the.
Yeah, he said keep the marimba as is. So he's talking about the vibe player mostly.
So I have this idea of trying to combine. Oopsie, kind of both ideas here, and I'll show you what I mean, and you can tell me what you think about it. gotta redo that slur. GFE.
Okay. Daniel Reeves says, take slurs off mallets, question mark.
Yes. And then when we're done, hang on. After I do this, I'm going to very lightly bang my head against the bookcase next to me.
Yeah, Daniel, he's also a percussionist, so he has a lot of input as well that he can provide.
Now, yeah, see, go ahead and say what Valerie just wrote, because I have that. That's the same question kind of for me.
Yeah, do the slurs do the slurs stand for pedaling? Is what she's saying.
That's what I
Taylor
thought.
said in vibes, yes.
So
he said in vibes, yes.
So for this, I could go like this, and this would stand for the pedals of those.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could not be lazy, and I think this is what he was trying to say, was to use this. I think this is what you were trying to say we should do, Taylor and Daniel. Put the little symbol that's specifically designed for this particular situation. Hang on, I'm gonna get through 4 measures of what I was trying to tell you guys about real quick, and then you guys can tell me if this works or not. What you think of this? I think that this may be... No, it should be like that. Alright, let's listen to this, and you guys tell me what you think of this, if this is the right idea or not. And then I'll continue this in the next 4 measures. Tell me what you think of this, how this works here. Oops. But you should tell me what you think about it when I select the right thing. What do you guys think of that sort of thing? Because I feel like they kind of complement each other.
I like it. I think, depending on the mallet choices, I would definitely like to hear more of that texture. But I think that would work well. Kevin Neese said, "Can you play it again and can you isolate those 2 lines?"
Sure, we'll isolate these. And then obviously these, I need to fix these 2 here. Which is a matter of some copying and pasting. You gotta be excited about the copying and pasting.
Peter said that's an interesting approach. The player needs to be reliable. They will want to rush it. Valerie said all percussionists need to be reliable. Yeah, they'll want to rush that part for sure, especially the triplet quarter notes. That's going to be hard to kind of lock in. So no, I agree with that for sure.
So this kind of comes to what I was talking about a second ago. So making things not complicated enough, but interesting for a band director. So by doing that kind of triplet against the duple thing, is that going to make a band director go, no, I don't think we're going to be able to do that? Or is that something that's a good learning tool?
I would look at it more as a learning tool because your melody has these quarter note triplets anyway. So this could actually be used as an exercise. I could see a director going like just like having everyone play on a concert F and just going like da, 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 da. So that could actually be used as a really cool like teaching exercise as well.
See, that's what I would think. Like I would be like, oh, that's a really cool opportunity. That would be my thought at least.
Let's see. We have some comments. Okay. Uh, I do like it pieced together. I'm thinking that the first measure should be half note, half note. Next measure, quarter, triplet, half. So Taylor is talking about slowing down the harmonic rhythm of the mallet parts to where it's like they're just playing like da 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 like that kind of thing, not to where they're playing eighth notes. So that would actually be a cool thing we could try. Uh, Daniel Reeves said quarter notes in vibes instead. So yeah, they're both kind of saying the same thing to slow down the harmonic rhythm of the percussion parts. Uh, okay, Taylor said keep marimba line how it is. Vibes have that line. Okay, so what do you kind of want to do with that, John? Do you want to?
So I'm gonna not do the literal melody. I do want to change it a little bit. I don't want to give him the copy and pasted melody. Um, but I see what you're saying there. All right, let's listen to this. I think it's that. I also need to change a note there that I know is wrong, but I want to fix this before I do that. Okay, now which note was I think it's this. Yes. Okay, let's listen to this. These two one more time. I think this may be a good one here.
Yep, I like that as well. Yo, let's hear it.
Did you get to hear that, Kevin? Do you want me to play it again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play it again. I like that. So hang on, then we need to do this. Then we need to do...
Yep, I like that as well. Okay, everyone seems to like that idea. Cool. Yeah. So now my only question is with the orchestration that you have right there, do you maybe need to scale it back now to let that part kind of come through more so? So I'd be interested to kind of see what that would look like.
Let's listen to the whole thing here. Let's listen. But then again, well, so here, what we could do, if we really wanted to bring this out, we could just give this to the tenor sax. Let's leave it like that.
Oh, man.
Let's just leave it like that. That'll be fun.
Rest in peace,
All right, let's listen to this, and we will need to add some slurs, but let's listen to it first. How do we feel about that?
I like it. I do like it a lot. Taylor, okay, so Taylor said, can you put the quarter note triplets on the downbeat of the second measure in this section? Sax plays the quarter note triplets um, first as a call, and then the vibe responds. I really like that idea. Like, so he's saying like having, so you have this melodic line where the quarter note triplets are on beat 3, so that in the next measure you can have the quarter note triplets happen to where it's like one of them, it's like basically a call and response to each other.
No, I got it.
Yeah, Taylor.
Let me think real quick, because I kind of have an idea about that. So like, my thought is then do we give part of that to the French horn and baritone, because they're just sitting on half notes on beat 1 of measure 38, so they can go 1 da 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 da. So they are still kind of playing the call and response. Or are you saying that they should? I think you were saying that they should introduce it in beat 1 of 37, but
Valerie said you could give that to the counter melody too.
So, So, all right, let's take a vote.
Okay, yes.
Because I'm torn. Do we start it here on the measure that it's yellow, or do we start on the measure that's not yellow?
Let's do the measure that's not yellow.
That's what you guys are. That's what you think, Kevin?
Yeah, that's what I think at least. But
all right, let's see what the chat says. I'm leaning to that, because then we can give it to the vibes, the French horn, and the euphonium. Or if we do it the other way, it's just going to be the tenor sax, and it's going to be just the tenor sax and the vibraphone.
Yeah, Valerie said non-yellow measure. Okay.
Yellow or non-yellow? So far, Kevin and Valerie are non-yellow. I'm kind of leaning towards non-yellow, but let's see what the rest. There's 10 of you. Come on.
Okay, Taylor said non-yellow.
Non-yellow.
I think that's probably the general consensus is what I'm getting.
Kevin, are you still here? What do you think? Pete, you still here? Yellow or non-yellow?
Peter said this is what Command Z is for. Give it a shot.
What am I undoing? I'm so confused. I don't know. Oh, I think so we can try it. We can try it, and then if we don't like it, then we can Command Z. I thought you meant like right now we should undo it. I was like, what?
Here, so let's try the non-yellow measure.
Right.
Let's try that and see.
All right, so I'll tell you what, we're gonna get rid of this vibraphone part, and we'll come back and add it later. Because I don't really, I find when I'm doing this kind of stuff, the less places I have to copy and paste things, the better. So then the question is do I put it here as well? Let's listen to this and see how we feel about it. And then we'll add it down here if we like it. Oops. Oh, that was a nice chord. So I do really like that. Hang on, let's listen to that one more time.
Yeah. I love that a lot, actually. like this trading off, like the that kind of trade off is really cool.
Hang on, Kevin. I may have an idea here. Let's listen to this. This could be a train wreck. Yeah, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's way too much.
Maybe kind of spread it out a little bit. Yeah.
I don't like that. Although that is, Let's listen to this one more time. I like that.
Oh, I love that counter. I love that counter melody at 40 where you go that's really nice.
Yay!
Really, really
nice. Thank you. Let's listen here. Let's do this. So let's add this down here so we don't. Now this may be a new problem. We may start going out of their range if we do this down here. Let's see what happens. Oh, so this isn't gonna be a problem. They have that. I once had a composition teacher in college once say, sometimes you'll have a great idea, you'll have a great something, what you have is great, and then you'll have an idea, and then you have to redo the whole thing. And I feel like we've hit that point. So the question is, does this come down here?
John Rose, he said he doesn't know anything about writing no music, but I really, really like what you all are writing here, or what you all are creating here.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, so he likes it. Peter said, drop the octave from the C in bar 37 question mark.
Peter, I'm not sure what C you are referring to.
I'm trying to see. Is he talking about the...
I don't know what C.
Okay, so he's saying in the euphonium. He's talking about in the euphonium. So taking the C down an octave.
I think he means his E here, the E flat, like that.
Oh, that would be an interesting sound. Yeah.
Let's listen to this.
Yeah, that's a bit jumpy, and even like as a euphonium player myself, I think that would be a little bit challenging to do.
I do like the original.
I think, yeah, because if you're already going to be up there, just keep them up there. I wouldn't necessarily bring them down to have them kind of jump back.
Yeah, I really like that. How it is. Let's listen to this. Hang on. I I think this needs to go there. And
Yeah.
and I think we can put this here.
Oh yeah, so I don't think I asked you. Did you have a name for this piece already,
No,
or
we
were you
don't.
just?
We are looking for a title. That is an ongoing project.
Do you usually do your titles like when you begin a piece or when you end a piece, or
Uh,
is it like another way?
so here's the title, but the on the front of the thing. Um, to answer your question, Kevin, it really truly depends on the piece. Like I enjoy film music. I've written a couple of documentary films and stuff like that. When I write music, sometimes I have like a film or a narrative in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and the title comes naturally. Sometimes it's a matter of like revising it or making it fit the narrative or making it a more interesting title.
Mm-hmm.
But there's times like this where I don't necessarily have a narrative and I'm just writing to to write, and I don't know what the title is, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to hear what people think.
Yeah, typically I'll like titles for me usually come later, and often I'll wrestle with the title for a long time until I really feel like that is probably the best personification of the piece. Um, Actually, John Mackey was the one that kind of got me into like titling, like putting titles on concertos, because I never like did that before. Like even with the Concerto for Euphonium and Wind Ensemble, I couldn't really get a good title with that, and so like his first, I think, concerto was the soprano sax concerto, or at least that was like the first really big one. And so I think after that, that's when he began to call his concertos give them titles. So that's a thing that I'm kind of working on now with each piece, kind of going forward. Particularly if it's like featuring like a person, like having a title that'll kind of encompass what it is, versus just calling it trumpet concerto
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever like that. So
I wrote a French horn. It wasn't necessarily a concerto. It was like a 3 or 4 minute piece for solo French horn and wind ensemble. It was called Exploration, and I meant it in the sense of like space exploration. But
mm-hmm.
like uh, other than that, like um, narrative. I don't know. Narrative is usually what drives me if I'm trying to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
This one I have no particular story in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of letting you all pick the story, which is kind of a struggle for me. So I'm kind of writing off of your suggestions. So I don't. I'm struggling with a narrative, let alone a title. So please, if you guys have a narrative or a title, we'll put it on there.
If you want to, John, do you want to try to hear this whole thing all the way through to kind of see what, kind of hear everything now in context?
Sure. Let me quickly. I want to hear this one part real quick that we did. I didn't listen to it, and then we'll listen to everything, and then I need to copy and paste this down here to the vibraphone part, and then we'll listen to the whole thing, and then we can call it a night.
Sounds good.
All right, let's give this a listen here. It also helps if you don't pick just the tuba part and you let everyone play. There we go. I like that. I think that sounds great. I really like that. So now we need to give this to the rut-row.
We have someone joining us uh, from excuse me. We have someone joining us from Philly, which is cool. So welcome
Steven,
to
yeah, Steven.
the chat.
Steven, I don't know if you
Hi,
know
Steven.
Jenny Neff. He's one of her former students. I don't know if you know Jenny
Wow,
Neff.
wow, wow. No, I don't. But we're glad you're here, man. We're glad you're here, Steven.
Steven, glad you were able to join us again. All right, let's listen, or let's give this to the vibes, and then we'll give
So
it.
Valerie has said that it sounds like a superhero intro. Um, I also agree too. I think there's a very heroic quality about this piece. Um, so I definitely like that. Oh, actually, wait. Malvin said that. Malvin said that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Malvin was the one that brought that up. I really like this kind of heroic part of this piece.
Well, I really like heroic music. That's kind of one of my favorite things. So that's kind of my writing style. I really, 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 really like heroic things. So I'm in a way, I don't mean to sound like a jerk or conceited, but I kind of know my stereotype. If that makes sense. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way every once in a while, where you just know, like you've written something, you go, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of moments where I've had that happen. Peter, okay, so Peter said something for the frontline workers?
I
Question
thought
mark.
about that, but
So
I kind of wanted to write something more heroic. So there's heroic again. I wanted to write something more heroic for them. I don't feel like. I mean, you guys do say that this is heroic, but I don't know. I feel like more like superhero ish. Hang on. I don't usually do these on these streams, but there is another piece I'm working on. I'll pull it up real quick so you guys can hear that. I normally don't promote other things here. I promise. This is a one time deal that if I can find it, I will share it because I'm trying to find it in my file explorer while I talk to you all. And I don't know if you've ever tried to find something on your computer while you tried to talk, but
yeah.
the struggle is real. Oops, nope, 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 nope. Don't do that. Here, and it should open right in front of this one. We won't listen to the whole thing because, as you can see, it's definitely still a work in progress itself. But just so you can hear what my idea was, so I call it a debt of gratitude, and I've been working on this for about 3 or 4 weeks now. But we'll just listen to kind of the main idea here, and then I'll end it just so you can see what my thoughts were on that subject. And I'll end it there. But just so that's so you can see at least what I was thinking for that subject matter. It and no, I'm not really jipping you that much. It really is about 30 seconds longer. So um, that's kind of my thought, if you will, of that
Yeah.
subject matter. And again, that's still a work in progress. It's very much a work in progress. Um, do you, I don't to say this is. I mean, I could see overcoming something or because at the end I do want a more celebratory ending, but I don't feel like I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know some sort of overcoming.
Yeah, it might just have to be a thing that you have to kind of sit with for a while and figure out like just kind of what is the narrative that you want to communicate. I've had that often happen with a few pieces. that have kind of dealt with more kind of issues, and so it just took a while to just to sit down to really come up with, okay, what is the narrative I'm trying to communicate. So that just might be a thing where it'll probably take a little bit of time, and
Yeah.
then I'm sure you get the right idea for it.
Real quick, before we listen to this one last time, since we are kind of approaching the end of the stream, down in the description, if you are in the comment section and you've been helping, please fill out the Google form to give me, if you would like to appear, your name to appear in the score cover. I quickly looked and I've had 0 submissions for that. So if you want your name to appear in the score cover, I'm not putting any names unless you filled out that form. So please, 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 down in the description, if you've helped in any way, shape, or form, and you would like to just get like an acknowledgement, I'll say thanks to these people for participating in the live stream. Please, if you would like that, put your name in the form, and I will use that. If you don't, then I'll just say thanks to all who participated, and that's it. So if you're interested, go do the thing. All right. That being said, let's listen to it from the beginning, and then we will call it a night. Poor Kevin. I asked Kevin if he was willing to stick around for like 5 or 6 minutes after.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Here we are, an hour and 48 minutes in. All right. From the top. Oh. Haha, just kidding. From the top. Kevin, before we go, because this is going to bug me, because I think I told you this. I have this rule that I don't touch this other than minor things.
Okay.
And this is going to bug me if I don't fix this.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
I just gotta take this French horn part and I gotta put it down here. I gotta put it here. It's gotta happen, or else I'm gonna be really upset. Hang on.
I love the woodwind runs that you have in this as well. I think when I was on the stream, just commenting, that was one thing I really liked was like these woodwinds, these woodwind parts that you have here. It's really nice.
I really, so I keep hearing, and this is something else I want to add, and this is going to be something I'm going to let bother me. There needs to be, I really want to put another one, like so that the run starts on beat 1 here in measure, what measure is that? Oh. uh 48, 49. Like it
Hmm.
starts on beat 1 instead of ending on beat 1, like that's there, and then it goes up. I think like a fifth is what I'm thinking I'm hearing, but
Oh
like
yeah,
it needs to.
yeah,
It. I think that there needs to, so it goes dut. And it just like keeps trading off who's doing that. So
yeah.
that's kind of what I hear. I haven't put it in yet, and that's just something I'm gonna let bother me. And that one doesn't
Yeah.
bother me as much as leaving blank measures.
Yeah, no, I would add that in there. That sounds awesome.
So that is the plan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for tonight for some composing. I want to thank you all. Well, first, before I thank you all for listening, I want to thank Kevin, who is kind enough to do this with me. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun composing with you, man.
Yeah, man, this is an awesome piece, and I can't wait to hear like what it is once it's complete. So this is really great.
Well, I'm. Thank you, Kevin. I'm flattered and humbled that you say that. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank everyone. If you are new today, if you have been here for many many weeks, if you're a first time viewer or a multiple viewer or a regular, thank you for joining us. Tomorrow we have the How to Sibelius. For those of you who are Sibelius users, I literally Valerie, who's in the chat, we literally just sit and wait for questions, and we whatever you ask me to do in Sibelius, I'll run through how to do it, or try to at least. Um, and Thursday, Lori, who's my usual co-host, will be back. And then next Tuesday, Pete Ciano, who's in the chat, will be joining me for my guest moderator next week. And oh yes, good, you've all remembered. Even Kevin remembered. You must dab. You must dab before you leave. It is. It
Put a
is.
dab in the chat.
You must
Yes.
dab in the chat. If you do not dab in the chat, you are not allowed to leave. You must stay watching even after Kevin and I are gone. I will look, and I will make sure that you are still here viewing.
Y'all are really awesome. It's really a pleasure to get to do this. So
Well, Kevin, I've come to the conclusion at some point we're going to have to start having repeat guests. I would be honored if you join me again.
I'd love to. Yes.
Um,
Yes, I'd love to.
I know I was thinking, and I know I've toyed with this several times, or mentioned this but never actually said it. Um, I think the next piece that we do is going to be in Dorico, and
Okay.
I think it's going to be a grade 1.5.
Ooh. Okay.
So, and then you
Huh.
guys can see the different thoughts that go into the grade 1.5,
Mm-hmm.
and the different kind of educational thoughts. Because not that a grade 3 isn't necessarily an educational, a lot of educational things go into it. Even more educational thought, to me, in my opinion, goes into the grade 1.5 because of the, and I really hate to use this term, but I've used it several times, limitations. It's I don't know a better word for it, but you know, to me, I think it's a lot of fun writing grade 1.5, but there are some things that you can and cannot do with
Yep.
those. But that'll
Mm-hmm.
be next after we finish this one. I was thinking about doing it concurrently with this one, and then I realized there's just not enough time in the week. So,
Yeah.
Kevin, if you'd stick around after I end the stream for a minute, I'll chat with
Yeah.
you. Everyone else, thanks for joining. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow for How to Sibelius with Lainey, and we'll do some more composing on Thursday with Lori. I'm John. My guest co-host is Kevin. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See y'all later.
Oh, it's Valerie. It isn't. I'm sorry, Valerie. Okay, bye for real, everyone.
See y'all.